The drama in days of April 10, 2025 will be a day Salem never forgets. A dangerous secret between Sarah and Alex. Sarah is in deep. As Titan Industries teeters under the weight of its leadership changes and internal corruption, she's caught in the middle of a secret that could shatter more than just business ties. It could destroy lives. Sarah is trying to keep Alex from spilling the truth about a counterfeiting operation that could tie back to none other than Philip. This isn't just a business matter. It's personal. Sarah knows that exposing Philip could cause a chain reaction that would put Gabby's future at risk, ruin Titan's already fragile reputation, and potentially land people she cares about in legal jeopardy. But keeping Alex quiet isn't easy. He's torn between his loyalty to Sarah and his growing discomfort with hiding something this big. And while Sarah pleads for discretion, the pressure mounts from above. The Titan co-CEOs are tightening the screws, and Gabby, ever the survivor, is forced to play along. Gabby has walked the line between power and peril before, but this time the stakes feel higher. She knows that if the secret gets out, she won't just lose her position, she could lose everything. Kate faces another family crisis elsewhere. Kate is getting wind of the situation and she's not pleased. She's built her life around secrets, alliances, and survival. But this latest round of deception hits a little too close to home. When Kate voices her concerns, it's her son Rex who delivers the dagger with a smirk. "Don't worry, Mom. Lying runs in the family. Why fight it?" It's a line that's both flippant and brutally honest. The Brady Roberts family has seen its share of lies, schemes, and cover-ups, and for Rex, this is just another day in Salem. But for Kate, whose instincts have kept her alive and relevant for decades, something about this moment doesn't sit right. The house of cards may be ready to fall, and she knows it. Belle's spiral into EJ's world across town. Belle is caught in a storm of her own making. Long known as the good girl among her more volatile siblings, Belle has recently found herself repeating history in all the worst ways. Her conflict with EJ is not just about morality, it's about desire, guilt, and long-buried resentment. Everyone in Salem knows that EJ has long been considered Sami's territory. Even when they weren't together, there was a possessive thread that tied Sami to EJ. Belle, in a moment of weakness or rebellion, has crossed a line. She slept with EJ. Not once, but twice. And each time, she tells herself the same thing. EJ is evil. EJ is cruel. EJ is wrong for her. But if that were really true, why go back? Belle tells herself it's all a ploy. That she's trying to seduce EJ into confessing about Rafe's kidnapping. But when her plan blows up and EJ, ever the chess master, figures her out in record time, he doesn't lash out. He simply lets her go. The rejection stings and Belle is furious, not just at EJ, but at herself. Then comes the twist. EJ is shot. Suddenly, Belle's anger turns to guilt, her loathing to worry. She confesses to Brady that they can't be together, but she doesn't sound so sure. Is it really EJ's nature that's driving her away? Or is it something deeper? Something more personal? Something Sami? The return of Sami Brady, a bomb about to explode just when it seems things can't get more complicated. Salem's favorite hurricane returns. Sami walks into the worst possible scene, Belle and EJ together. And if you've ever seen Sami react when someone takes what she believes is hers, you know this confrontation will not be a quiet one. The last time a man Sami loved looked at her sister, it led to years of chaos. Austin. Carrie. Heartbreak. Betrayal. And now? It's happening all over again. But this time, Sami's not just furious, she's calculating. She demands answers. She wants blood. And she's going to make sure that Belle understands exactly how deep the betrayal cuts. Before the dust settles, Sami finds time to reconnect with her son, Johnny. But their reunion isn't the peaceful, tearful scene one might expect. Johnny wants to know what happened between his mother and father, what dark secrets EJ may still be hiding. The answer Sami gives may be just as explosive as her return itself. Gabby's gamble and Xander's proposition. Meanwhile, Gabby finds herself in more trouble than she realizes. The fallout from EJ's shooting continues to ripple through Demera Enterprises, and she's left to navigate the chaos. Just when she thinks she might catch a break, Xander and Philip show up offering a mysterious deal. What they propose could either save Demera or sink it for good. Gabby isn't sure she can trust either man, but time is running out, and she may not have a choice. She's always played a bold game, but this one might require more than even she's willing to risk. And just as the pressure builds, Alex arrives at Gabby's chic. There's tension, there's fear, but surprisingly, there's also a moment of recognition. Stephanie, who's seen Alex at both his best and his worst, offers him a pat on the back. Perhaps a small gesture of trust in a sea of betrayal. One day, endless fallout. As secrets unravel and confrontations explode, the April 10th, 2025 episode of Days of Our Lives promises a day of reckoning. Relationships will be tested. Loyalties will be questioned. And no one, especially not Belle, Sarah, or Gabby, will emerge unscathed. But perhaps the biggest takeaway: Salem may be a town built on lies, but even the best liars can't hide forever. And with Sami Brady back in town, the truth is about to be shouted from the rooftops. Next, Salem tensions rise. JJ's fears for Gabby spark a difficult conversation at the police station in the quiet, gray hours of early morning at the Salem Police Department. Tension hangs heavy in the air like the lingering scent of stale coffee and adrenaline. Officer JJ Devereaux sits at his desk, his brow furrowed, the weight of the past 24 hours evident in his tired eyes. Across from him, Detective Sami Brady arrives bearing a welcome sight: 2 steaming cups of coffee. The gesture is simple, but for JJ, it's a small comfort amidst a storm of worry. Sean pulls up a chair and slides one of the coffees across the desk to JJ, who nods in appreciation. It's been a long night for both men, especially for JJ, who's been poring over evidence related to the recent and shocking shooting of EJ DiMera. As the caffeine slowly begins to wake him up, JJ leans forward, his voice low and uncertain. "I need to run something by you, Sean, about Gabby." At first, Sean raises an eyebrow, surprised by the direction of the conversation. "Gabby?" he repeats, setting his coffee down carefully. "What about her?" JJ takes a deep breath. The words feel heavy on his tongue, like treason wrapped in concern. "I know how this sounds," he begins, "but I can't shake this feeling. I think Gabby might have had something to do with the shooting." Sean leans back in his chair, the wheels creaking beneath him, his expression unreadable. It's a bold accusation, especially coming from someone who cares deeply for Gabby Hernandez. But JJ is serious, his eyes filled with a storm of doubt and fear. He begins recounting the events of the night before, the moment when EJ DiMera was shot in the alley behind the bistro, and the confusion that followed. He recalls, too, Gabby's mysterious disappearance around the same time. She hadn't answered his calls or texts for hours, and by the time she returned, her explanation had been vague at best. But that's not all. There's history. Just days before the shooting, Gabby had a very public confrontation with EJ. Emotions had boiled over. She'd even pointed a gun at him, stopped only by the intervention of others. She was furious, JJ admits. She said she was done being pushed around. She wanted EJ to pay for everything he's done. Sean doesn't dismiss JJ's concerns outright. He knows Gabby has a fiery temper and a long memory. She's been wronged, underestimated, and betrayed more than most people in Salem. Still, the idea that she'd go so far as to shoot EJ? She's got a daughter to think about, Sean says gently. Do you really think she'd throw all of that away? JJ sighs, running a hand through his hair. I want to say no. I hope the answer is no. But if she thought she could get away with it, if she thought she was protecting Ari or herself from something worse. I don't know. There's a pause between them, the kind of silence that only good friends can sit in without discomfort. Sean finally breaks it, his voice cautious but firm. You know, there's a difference between worrying and accusing someone. If you're this bothered, maybe you need to talk to Gabby. Ask her directly. Just don't turn this into an interrogation. That's a quick way to end a relationship. JJ nods slowly. The advice makes sense, but the path forward still feels like walking a tightrope. He cares about Gabby, but he's a cop. And being a cop means trusting your instincts, even when it hurts. It's not just about me, JJ replies. If she did do this and I cover for her, that's the end of my career. Maybe even my freedom. But if she didn't and I accuse her of something like this, then you've shattered something that might never heal, Sean finishes for him. Both men are silent again for a moment, the hum of fluorescent lights overhead buzzing faintly in the background. Then JJ shifts gears. There's someone else who keeps popping up in my mind, he says. Kristen. Sean chuckles under his breath, the sound dry. Is there ever a crisis in this town that Kristen DiMera isn't somehow involved in? JJ smirks, but the humor is brief. Her alibi for the night of the shooting? She said she was getting a blow dry. Who does that at midnight? Sean laughs, then grows serious. It's flimsy. But it's Kristen. She thrives on being just slippery enough not to catch. She's definitely on my radar, JJ agrees. If Gabby didn't do it, Kristen's at the top of my list. Sean finishes the last of his coffee, setting the empty cup on the desk. Look, EJ's made a lot of enemies. Gabby might be one of them. But you're not going to find the truth by sitting here guessing. You either talk to Gabby or start digging for evidence on Kristen or someone else. But don't let your heart cloud your judgment, JJ. You're a good cop. Don't forget that. The advice hits home. JJ nods, feeling a mix of gratitude and pressure. He doesn't want to believe Gabby could do something so violent. He knows how hard she's fought to rebuild her life, how much she loves her daughter, how fiercely she's defended her place in Salem. But love, fear, and desperation can be powerful motivators. And in a town like Salem, even the people you love most can surprise you in the worst ways. As the sun begins to rise outside the police station, casting a pale light through the windows, JJ knows what he has to do next. He's going to talk to Gabby face to face. He's going to look her in the eyes and ask the question that's been gnawing at him since last night. Because whether she's innocent or not, the truth can't stay buried forever. Not in Salem. Not with EJ DiMera's life hanging in the balance. And not when the woman JJ loves might be holding the smoking gun.